All right.
Oh,
Ready.
got a shield on it.
Maybe if I pull this off.
There it is.
There we go.
What's been the focus so far this week?
Play with effort and energy for 60 minutes. Obviously, anytime you go on the road, you got to be able to stop the run and not give up explosive plays, which will be critical. So we understand that from a scheme standpoint, these guys do a really good job. They work really hard to get in the right play, and we understand that we're going to have to play fast and physical and aggressive for 60 minutes and bring effort and energy and be ready to match anything that they throw at us.
Bobby said one of the keys was getting pressure on the quarterback. Did you see that looking at film?
Oh yeah,
before?
I thought I think that goes hand in hand. Anytime you can affect the quarterback with pressure, it's obviously going to disrupt the timing, disrupt the routes down the field, speed the clock up in his mind to get rid of the ball. So I think that's pretty much standard. That statement kind of holds true for any quarterback, and certainly it's something that we got to focus on in this game.
To that end, how much easier is it to do that when you can play with a lead?
Well, I think that anytime that you do have a lead, it allows you to maybe be a little bit more aggressive at times, but it also can dictate maybe the things that they have to do. So from a percentage standpoint, you kind of got a better feel, whereas when you're maybe behind or it's even, then it can be a little more balanced. I think sometimes when you get ahead, obviously that forces them to do things that maybe they're not comfortable doing, which allows you to not necessarily blitz more, but understand here are the things you're going to see, and we try to coach our players up on that.
They've used two quarterbacks. How different are those two different guys?
Well, they really run the same plays, but obviously we faced the one guy last year, and then this year they have another guy. And two's a guy that is really athletic. He can play a lot of spots on the field. He does a good job as a quarterback. I've seen some plays where he's thrown it into tight spaces. He's thrown the ball outside. He gives them another dimension with his feet as far as when maybe the rush breaks down and people are affecting him. So we understand that we're going to have to work hard to contain him and plaster our receivers, because when he buys time like that, it allows guys to extend their time to get open. So we understand we got to do it on both ends with coverage and in our rush.
What has made Trevon so effective recently?
The guy really just works hard. I mean, Trevon's a guy that has some ability. He's explosive off the ball. He's got pretty good hands. He's got length, and he just keeps working hard every day in practice. And it was really good to see him, get some production and finish the game off the way you like to see, outside backers, defensive line guys finish the game. And it was certainly a game that I was proud of him and the way he played, and certainly contributed to us winning the game.
How much weight's he put on since he's come? I mean, he seems like a bigger guy.
Yeah, he's a bigger guy. He's probably about 25 pounds heavier, and I certainly think there's a room that moving forward that he can even put on more weight than that, and that'll be something that we can address as we move through the season or through the off season. But he works hard. He's got some ability, and he's a guy that has really worked to prepare to be a good player, and it kind of showed up in the last game.
What kind of atmosphere are you guys expecting to see down there, that Friday night kind of national TV game for them?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing we really worry about is playing, between the white lines, and no matter the atmosphere, we got to be ready to play. It can be something that you really can't let it affect you either way. So we understand, the kind of environment that we're going into, but we got a chance to get to 4-4, and that's a big step for us right now, and that needs to be our focus.
Trevon had, he'd originally signed, I guess, with Charlie's staff, and then you guys got hired a week or two after that. I guess he was signed to play kind of a 4-3 defensive end. What did you tell him about why you thought, it would be a good place for him to stick around and a good system?
Well, I mean, if you look at his body type, he's really made to be more of an outside linebacker type at the next level, and even at this level. He's explosive off the ball. He can play in space. He's got the ability to drop and move away from the ball. So it's not really that big of a deal in the sense that, we're a 3-4 by structure, but we play 4-3 stuff. We play nickel stuff, and he plays the end position. I think in our scheme, you get a little bit more flexibility as a player to develop your crafts. And he's a guy that's developed those things as a player, and it was certainly good to see him be productive in the game last week.
Have you seen anything on their films that have made you turn your head a little bit?
I think if you look how they played Florida State, they played Florida State really well at home. They go to Boston College and beat Boston College. So I think, and then when you see the plays that they run, they do schematically, they have some plays that can cause problems. they really work hard to get in the right play. So I mean, we're going to have to play and understand that it's, every play matters, and that we're going to have to bring effort and energy and play for 60 minutes, because anytime you go on the road and it's a night game, it's a national TV game, I mean, there's going to be things that come up, and we've got to have enough mental toughness to go out and play the way we need to play to win.
The most common reaction from Saturday's game was that it was an ugly game, but defensive coordinators, you guys look at things a little differently, don't you?
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty game myself. I mean, it's one of those that you're certainly proud to get the win. You're proud of your team all the way around. At the end of the day, the bottom line is you win the game. I've been in situations where the score's been in the 30s, and the bottom line is they had a 2-minute drive to win the game, and we stopped them and won the game. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, and that's what we kind of coach our players up, is you got to play the next situation. Whether the last situation was good, bad, or indifferent, it really doesn't matter. It's the next task at hand, and that needs to be the focus each week. So really doesn't matter the score. It's what's up next, and what do we got to do to win the game, because the biggest thing is we win as a team, and that we find ways to win games as a team.
To hold a Power 5 team to 4 first downs, I mean, was the film as pretty as those stats say?
Yeah, I mean, I thought our guys played physical up front. We played with energy. We understood where our fits were, where we needed to go, and guys won one-on-one matchups. I mean, at the end of the day, I thought our guys did a great job with the game plan. They understood it, and they played fast. The players should get a lot of credit for executing and doing the things that we asked them to do, because at the end of the day, they executed and won the game.
One of the big talking points coming out of Saturday's win was Sheldon's play, the fumble return. Is that sort of playmaking contagious? And after the film session, do you see guys wanting to make more big plays like that?
Well, I think that anytime you make explosive plays on defense, it's contagious. I think anytime you're kind of humming, it can be contagious. I think when guys play with effort and energy, it's contagious, because you don't want to be the guy that shows up on tape not giving that kind of effort and energy. I think our guys are a close group, and they certainly care for each other. There's a trust factor there. There's a belief factor there. And I think when you have those things, it kind of bonds you. And I think that when you can get, feeding like that a little bit, I think it brings out the best in guys. And we've just got to continue to work and understand that it's one game, and we got to move forward playing the same way.
What do you think of how Fields came back and responded? Coach Petrino had said that they had a meeting, and that he said he wouldn't make mistakes like he made against Florida State again. I mean, how do you think he came back against BC?
He did a great job. I mean, he registered with a sack in the game. He had some pressures. He had a couple of TFLs. In some factor plays, meaning that maybe he didn't make the play, but he allowed someone else to make the play based upon how he fitted on the play. I think he's a young guy learning how to play in our system. He's getting his feet back underneath him. I think that his heart's in the right place, his dedication's in the right place, and I think he'll continue to get better and work. And he certainly responded the way I would like to see our guys respond when things don't go your way, because nothing's going to ever be perfect in life. I mean, there's always going to be setbacks, there's always going to be adversity, but the key to all that is how you respond and what you do about it moving forward. And like I told you guys last week, I thought it was a good educational experience for some of our guys, and certainly he benefited from that and was able to be much more productive this last game.
Wake and BC played each other for 60 minutes and 3 points were scored. What do you take away from that game? Anything that jumped out at you?
Well, I think that one, they both have very good defenses. I think that, there's a small, you can go back to our Florida State game, there's a small line there between being really good and not being where you want to be. So we've got to just continue to work on ourselves, continue to implement our game plan, and understand here are the things we've got to do to win the game, and that really needs to be our focus, is just on what we got to do to win the game.
All right.
Okay. Thanks guys. Yep.